Looking to transport coveted materials across long distances but can't afford a Brinks truck? Look no further. I've got you covered. This is how to use your bicycle like an armored truck. Tonight, I fly to Shanghai, China. My client requires thousands of dollars worth of yuan. If you're a fly-by-night operation like mine, we do things last minute. I'll be traveling 20 miles to the King of Prussia to make the currency exchange. I'm going to share crucial tips to use your bicycle like an armored truck. The first step is to look intimidating. Wear military-style pants and high-vis, skin-tight clothing. Wear a helmet. This is used for self-defense. If someone comes at you, you can hit them with your helmet. Wear the proper shoes. Select mountain biking shoes over road shoes. This is going to be better for sparring. There's more grip. Alternatively, use running shoes if you don't have hands-on combat training like me so that you can run away. Wear gloves. Boom, boom, boom. That's gonna protect your skin when you fight. What sort of bike should you choose? You could use a carbon fiber road bike to get the job done quickly. If you're attacked, you can also snap the top tube in half and use the carbon fiber as a shiv. Alternatively, you could opt for a steel gravel bike and use it as a battering ram to slam into threats. It also has all-terrain tires in case you have to go and escape off-road. That brings me to another point. Know your route. This isn't the time to get lost. Go on Google Maps, figure out what you need to do. Do some push-ups and get a pump. You don't want to go so hard that you're too weak to fight someone off, but you need to do enough reps to get a good pump so people are afraid of you. Creatine, sugar, and water. This is going to give your muscles a nice big pump and give you the energy to boom, boom, boom. Be explosive should you need to fight. Eyeglasses or contact lens. Depends on your situation. If you have self-confidence issues, you got to work on that. But if you just have to get the job done today, go for contacts. That psychology is going to help you out in the short term. However, if you were going through London during the acid attack times, this wouldn't be great. You would have to go for eyeglasses to make it easier to flush out. If you do choose to use contacts, wear some sunglasses to protect your eyes from sharp objects and acid. Now let's talk about arming yourself. But you need to look up in your jurisdiction what sort of protection you have if you use one of these weapons or your hands or elbow. You don't want to get into legal trouble. Often it's more worth it to just flee away than to potentially hurt someone defending yourself or whatever the court decides. Today, I won't be taking the guns, the firearms. I will be armed with a utility knife, pepper spray, poppets. These explosives can be used as a warning shot, but if it really gets serious, I will be exploding this bomb. Just kidding, it's a firework. But you gotta be careful. Some currency exchanges might not want you bringing explosives in. Plus, depending on what you're transporting, a dog could sniff that and then it could start sniffing other stuff you might be carrying. Maybe not the explosives today. So where do you store the precious materials? A good idea is to separate where they're stored. You could put some here, and then if you have a top tube bag, you could put some there. Or if you have zippers on your back pocket, you can put the money there. Consider timing yourself to see how fast you can get it off in the event that you need to abandon your bike and run with the money. Carry the proper tools to repair punctures and other minor issues with the bicycle. I'm wearing contacts today, but I'll bring these extra glasses in case something happens. Should your contact dislocate, you don't want to be SOL. Always bring an extra set of vision. Your senses are crucial to survival. Bring the necessary equipment to charge electronic devices. Calling someone, looking on the map could be the difference between death and survival. Bring a surgical blade. The box cutter might be hard to hide. Should you get kidnapped, you could store one of these in your back pocket. This could let you cut out of a rope or some tape. Hide this somewhere, but make sure it doesn't bend and poke you before you can even get kidnapped. I'm almost ready to go. I'm reviewing my route to the King of Prussia. Now I'm just gonna brush up on some self-defense.
And then you do the movement. Very easy to do. You can leave.
Being well rested might be the #1 defense tip. You need rest so you can think clearly, you have the energy to fight back, or decide it's better not to fight back. Good morning. I'm joining you from Philadelphia along the Schuylkill River. Part of being a Brinks truck on a bicycle is knowing where you are. Make sure to research the laws in your jurisdiction and what sort of activity the area is known for. I'm not here to bash anyone's city, but about a month ago I was watching a video, top 10 scariest hoods in the United States of America. I regret to inform you that all of the top 4 scariest hoods in the United States of America were in Philadelphia or right next to Philadelphia in New Jersey. That means this security test is robust. We're testing the Brinks Truck bicycle method in some of the most dangerous and desperate parts of the country. I'm now in Manayunk, which is a bike-friendly area, home of the renowned Wall. This means there might be a little bit of a more open-minded population, so I'm gonna look for a site of urination. When you're on beautiful pathways, you might get distracted, thinking, oh, it's just a joyous bike ride. No, this is a high-security operation. Stay sharp, stay focused. We just passed a dog. If you see a vicious dog that's trying to take you down, you can try shouting or taking a water bottle and going and squirting at the dog. Man, I really gotta pee really badly. That waterfall is not helping. It's activating some sort of conditioning in my mind. Ten more miles until we reach the King of Prussia's castle. The tactical pants look tough and would hold up well in a tense situation. However, it's so muggy out, the seam of the underwear is starting to rub against the soft skin of my backside. So I'm wishing I wore some cycling shorts. I'm in Norristown, Pennsylvania. I spent a night here on last summer's adventure to Washington, D.C. from New York City. Do not be like me, do not be like me at all. Apple Maps routed me to this so-called shortcut on a big, dangerous road, and I got a puncture. Of course, I forgot the little valve that connects to the cylinder, so there is no way for me to reinflate. Because it's a 47mm tire, I thought, oh, I can use a tubeless system, which I'm quite unfamiliar with. So I need to get some air, I need to get a repair. Have got to be kidding me. Over there is the bridge that I crossed the highway where I got this rip into my tire. And now I'm realizing I didn't have to go onto that bridge. That was completely the wrong direction. And now I'm walking what I've already ridden. I'm going to the bike shop now. He said he's pretty booked. He says a rip like you're describing, a 1/4-inch laceration, he doesn't think he can fix up today. Yikes. It's 11:30 a.m. I have a 9:45 p.m. flight to Shanghai. I hope I can make it. Rob from Village Velo Giant, Bridgeport, Pennsylvania, fixed me up. He put a tube in my thing. Could I have done that myself? Probably, but I didn't have the air. I would have had to wipe out that gunk, and he did it. Oh my God. I got out of there like robbery. $20 to do that. Who knows how much a SEPTA train ticket and bus ticket would be. Hopefully this gets me back to West Philly. It's noon now. I have a 5:30 p.m. train to Newark Airport. I've reached the Prussian King's lair. I'm looking for an entry point. Hopefully they let me in. I've penetrated the King's lair. Yesterday, I called and they said the King of Prussia has Chinese yuan, and their rate was even pretty good. I walked up to the kiosk and said, "May I have some Chinese yuan?" "Sorry, we don't have any Chinese yuan." I'm headed back to West Philly, and I really hope Newark Airport has Chinese yuan. That is, if I even make the flight. What time is it? 12:35. Apple Maps says 2 hours to get home. The train to Newark is at 5:30. 1 hour to pack, 1 hour to print out everything, find my passport, yada, yada, yada. And maybe go to the pharmacy to get my prescription. Believe it or not, it's not a psychiatric medication. It's a antibiotic. I'm just gonna take the train back to Philadelphia. I went over a big curb. The inner tube popped right where the gash was from earlier. Thankfully, I'm right outside the train station. What's the lesson? Don't be like me. Don't forget the valve. Always be near public transport. Call the currency place again. Demand, please check, do you actually have the bills? On the other hand, this is good for the video. Now I'm gonna test to see if my protocol works for securing USD on public transit. This is gonna be a better test. I'm now in the subway system, arguably the most risky spot when carrying tons of cash. Plus, it's been hours into the journey. My spirits have been lowered. My guard is down. This is a time to be the most vigilant. I just hopped on the first trolley headed west, but it was the wrong stop. Get to the right place, 30 minutes walking. Can you believe I made it back? I can hardly believe it myself. No Chinese currency in hand. Failure. But what was a success was I transported dollars with no issue. I'm a 200-pound white male built like an Abrams tank. So it might not be this easy for everyone, but I think the tips that I've given are helpful. Good news is I got the UN. The bad news is I got fleeced, rinsed, minus $132. L. Noah.